Yo, what is up YouTube? Today we got a nice, easy, simple video for you guys. Another SERUM tutorial. Today we're going to look at how I made the Reese in my tune Eclipse. Let's have a listen. Right then, let's get into this Reese. So we're going to have oscillator A, default as it is, and we're going to bring the unison up to 4, so we start getting some of that nice phase. There we go. Lovely. And what we're going to do is open our oscillator B, and we're going to put that on basic shapes, and we're going to have a lovely, lovely sine wave. And we're going to put the unison onto 3. There we go. Just having that sine wave in there kind of give us that deeper, darker little sound underneath. You can really feel it when you start messing about with it in a song. We're going to open up our filter as well, and we're going to put a low pass 24 on. We're going to put the cutoff to around 9 AM, and we're going to make sure that it's only affecting oscillator B. We're going to put our drive up to around 10 AM, and the resonance to around 12. Next, we're going to go to our envelope 1, and we're going to put the attack up to around 270. So we don't really get any clicks or any kind of just weird sounds at the start. Sometimes can happen with them. I like to be safe than sorry when it comes to my synths. There you go, somewhere around the 200 region. Somewhere around the 200 region. Next, we're going to go to LFO 2, and we're going to set it to 4 bars, and then we're going to bring it over to the right around here and curve in the end and bring up the beginning. And then we're going to set it to dot as well and change it to trigger mode. And what we're going to do here is attach this to our low pass filter so we start getting a little bit of movement in it. We don't really want too much, we just want it to be quite subtle. So we're going to put the filter cutoff to around 12. Next, we're going on to our effects. We're going to open up a distortion, have that on tube, and we're going to bring the drive all the way down to around, just around here. If you really want it to be a bit more gritty, a bit more industrial, then you can really like drive it up. Really gives it some more body, but with how I wanted this Reese, I wanted it to sound quite digital, very gritty, quite scratchy. So we leave it just at around 10-11%, because when we add our post-processing on, we don't want it to be overbearing and then it'll be too loud and just sounding a little bit messy. Next, we load up our compressor and make sure it's set to multiband, and you set the threshold to around 9 AM. This is what kind of really brings out, as you can hear, that kind of top end, that kind of scratchiness, which is something I really wanted when doing this tune, because the inspiration for it was from an anime known as Berserk. Shout out to anyone on my anime crew who knows about Berserk, but I wanted to make something themed off of the monsters out of that, and they all make these weird gnarly sounds, so I was trying to replicate that inside of SERUM. We bring the ratio all the way down, and we bring the attack all the way down, and make sure you leave the release at around 11 AM, and the same with the gain. If you bring the release up too much, you start getting some weird high-pitched kind of tones just creeping in the background, and we don't want that. I'll show you now. Now, as you can see, it's already getting quite loud from the compressor, so we're going to bring it down on the master. There we go. Next, we have the EQ. We're going to set the frequency of the left to around 9 AM. The same over here. And then we're going to set the gain to around 1 PM. Just give it a little bit of a boost. And then we're going to go onto the right here where the highs are. And we're going to have the Q set to 12, and we're going to have the gain set to 1. Just subtle little boosts. Really bring out that kind of scratchy top end part of it. Now for the final processing. When it comes to processing, I just like to take a sound and try and mangle it with some weird, interesting plugins that I can find. So we're going to go over to my plugin list, and we're going to load up a thing called Exciter by UHE. This is a seriously sick exciter digital filter kind of plugin. You can make some really gnarly sounds on here. So I like to use the bad mouth setting. Really kind of condenses it, brings out the mids in it as well. Next, we're going to go to Bit Crusher, because like I said earlier as well, I wanted it sounding a little bit digital, a little bit just gnarly and weird. So Bit Crusher is a cool way to kind of implement some weird information that might be hidden in a sound. So we're going to set that to 24, and then we're going to set this to around 16, and then around 20 on the mix. So that way it's not too overbearing, it's not really in there kind of shaping the way the sound is entirely, it's just kind of influencing it a little bit from the background. Just some nice little bit of, you know, fun to put on the sound. And then next, we're going to load up one of my favorite plugins, Growlify by Rocket Powered Sound. This is a free plugin by them, seriously sick, can take some of your simple sounds and make them just absolutely wicked. So we're going to bring the mix all the way up. We're going to have the torque full, and we're going to dial in the beef. So the more beef you put in, the more kind of angry and aggressive it can sound. So with some sounds, it's cool to whack it all the way. With some, you might just want to have a little bit. So I'll show you now. You see there? So what we're going to do is bring the beef down just a little bit more. So that way we've got the nice aggression, but we haven't got too much distortion where it kind of loses the essence of the sound. And then just to be safe, because Growlify does make your synths way, way louder. Just lovely fab filter limiter. Just to make sure that we don't go over 0, and then you can just bring it down when you're implementing it in a mix. Now, just whack a fat break under it, and you're ready to go. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Hope you've enjoyed this SERUM tutorial. My name has been Nave, also known as R3dX. If you've enjoyed everything you've seen today and you want the project files from this video or any other video, please hit the Patreon link in the description below. Monthly tunes, monthly sample packs, tune reviews, one-to-one sessions. It's all there for you guys to enjoy. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Join the Afro Army. It only takes one click. And I will see you guys on the next tutorial. Over and out.